So my nan, she is my most favourite lady in my life. She shows me the true meaning of unconditional love. She supports me no matter what I decide I'm going to do. She's got my back 110%. Regardless of the situation, she tells me how much she loves me. I could go to her with anything, and she just supports me 110%. Growing up, I grew up in a very weird house, but even when I did well academically, she'd send me a card and send me money in a card to not spend in the one shop, $5, which I always thought hilarious. And she'd ring me and we wrote to each other. We were pen pals for years. I don't know what we talked about, but we had heaps to say. They were pages and pages of letters to each other. I was about 7 or 8. And then as I got older, the more I got to know her as a person and not as my nan. Not the nan who just makes you your favourite breakfast and you stay there on the holidays. I got to know her story and how horrible it was, and the way she was brought up was with 12 siblings, and she was one of the oldest. But she grew up and she had a really horrible teenage years, and like she had to have a baby and she didn't want to get married, and then the guy just went and died because she didn't want to marry him. He killed himself, and then she still wanted to have this baby, and my grandparents sent her away to one of those lady homes, and she actually got to keep her baby because she fought for him, and she got to keep him. When she came home, she got a job to support him, and my great grandmother looked after the baby. And then she had a job, she met my pop, and they got engaged and they moved out, and she said, I want to take my baby. And my great grandmother said, no, he's my child now. He thinks I'm his mum and you can't have him. So after fighting all that, she still didn't get a baby. And it's just like everything she went through to still have this child, and it was just taken from her by her own mother to say no. And then he found out when he was like 21, and my nan's never forgiven herself for it. And so her whole adult life, she's struggled mentally and emotionally in regards to this situation, as well as the way she was brought up and everything else that has happened in her life. And she's struggled with mental health the whole time. So when I struggle with mental health, she has my back. And when I have suicide attempts, she doesn't say why, or how bad of you, or that's you're a horrible person, or don't you think of the people around you. She says, I think of you and I love you. And even just to be there, I could ring her at any time and say, hey Nan, I fucked up. Or I could ring her crying and saying, I don't want to breathe today. I don't want to live here today. I don't want to exist. And she'll cry on the phone with me and tell me how hard it is to live and how hard it is to breathe some days. And I just love her, and she loves me. And I don't think you could put into words how much she means to me, but I feel very blessed and very lucky to have that person in my life, because she gives me something that no one else can give me. She gives me something in here that no one else can give me, that unconditional love and support and hope. And I don't even know the word for it. But yeah, my nan's the best. And that's all I have to say.